Okay, so today we're going deep on, all that tension brewing in the South China Sea.
Right.
We've got this Associated Press article. It's detailing this joint patrol
Okay.
by the U.S., Japan, and the Philippines.
Yeah.
And this is not your average, friendly sail in the ocean.
No, not at all.
This is some serious stuff.
Yeah, you've got water cannons, diplomatic protests.
It's like right out of a movie.
It really is almost like whispers of like potential conflict.
Yeah, it's a big deal. Let's dive in. So to set the stage, I mean, can you give us like the geopolitical context here?
Yeah, so the South China Sea, I mean, it's this huge, strategically important region, right?
Right.
And China basically claims most of it.
Most of it.
Yeah, like almost all of it.
Okay.
And obviously that leads to some issues.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Because you've got all these other countries right around it, like the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and they're all kind of like, hey, wait a minute.
This is our backyard, too.
Exactly, that's their backyard.
Yeah.
And so you've got these overlapping claims.
Yeah.
And it creates a lot of tension, a lot of friction.
Okay, so let's talk about this recent incident that really seems to have sparked a lot of international attention.
Right.
It involved the Philippine ship, right?
Yes.
That was trying to deliver supplies to their fishermen.
Yeah, essential goods, just trying to get to their own people.
Yeah, but then they were met by Chinese vessels.
Yeah, the Chinese Coast Guard.
And things got a little bit...
They got heated. Yeah, they used water cannons.
Water cannons.
Against the Philippine ship. It's a pretty aggressive move.
Wow, and this all happened near Scarborough Shoal.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing is not just any random spot in the ocean.
Not at all.
So what's the significance there?
So Scarborough Shoal has been like a major flashpoint between China and the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
There was a big standoff back in 2012.
Oh, wow.
And since then, China's basically controlled it.
Oh, so they've been there for a while.
Yeah, they've kind of established themselves there.
Okay, so this latest incident with the water cannons is just kind of like another chapter.
Exactly. It shows you how quickly things can escalate, how tense the situation really is.
Yeah, so obviously the Philippines is not happy about this.
Right.
But the article mentions that other countries have also expressed concern.
Yeah, you've got the U.S., Japan, even the EU. They're all kind of like, hey, China, you need to chill out.
Okay, so, but what can they actually do?
Well, one thing they're doing is this joint patrol, right?
Right, the U.S. and Japan.
Yeah, they're sailing through those waters together.
So it's like a show of force.
It's basically them saying, we're here,
Right.
we're present, and we're not backing down.
And they're also trying to emphasize this principle of freedom of navigation.
Exactly.
Okay, so freedom of navigation, explain that one to me.
So basically, it's this idea that all countries should have the right to sail through international waters without anyone messing with them.
Okay.
No interference. It's like a cornerstone of maritime law.
So like the open seas.
Yeah.
Everyone should be able to sail through freely.
Right, but China's actions.
Yeah.
They're kind of challenging that principle.
By, like, blocking access to Scarborough Shoal.
Exactly. By trying to control who can and can't go there.
Right.
So the U.S. and Japan sailing through those waters, it's a way of pushing back on that.
So they're saying, no, this is international waters, we're going to be here.
Exactly. They're making a statement.
Okay, so it's not just about ships sailing around?
Right.
This article mentions something interesting about Japan providing the Philippines with some pretty high-tech equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Millions of dollars worth of surveillance equipment.
Yes.
So what's going on there?
So this is a big deal. It's not just about military presence. It's about intelligence.
Okay.
It's about giving the Philippines the tools to monitor their own waters.
So, like, what kind of equipment are we talking about?
We're talking sophisticated radar systems, probably some patrol vessels as well.
So they can keep an eye on what China's doing.
Exactly. They can gather intel and respond more effectively.
So this is Japan stepping up.
It shows how concerned they are about China's actions.
Right.
And they're willing to put their money where their mouth is.
Wow. So it's like everyone's kind of picking sides here.
In a way, yeah, it's getting pretty complicated.
Okay, so then there's the U.S. and their commitment to defend the Philippines.
Right.
Under this mutual defense treaty.
Yeah, that's a big one.
So explain that to me.
So mutual defense treaty,
yeah,
it's basically like a promise.
Okay.
A legally binding promise
Right.
that says if one country gets attacked,
Right.
the other country will come to their aid.
Okay, so in this case...
if the Philippines were attacked by China,
yeah,
the U.S. would be obligated to intervene.
militarily.
Yeah. potentially even militarily.
Wow, so the U.S. is basically drawing a line in the sand.
Yeah, it's a strong message to China.
But couldn't that actually make things even more tense?
It could. Some people argue that the U.S. presence is actually provocative.
Okay, I see what you mean.
It's a tough situation.
So the U.S. is trying to deter China from being aggressive.
Right. But they also don't want to start a war. Exactly. It's a very delicate balancing act.
It's a lot to unpack for sure.
It is. It's a complex geopolitical situation.
So for our listener who might be just tuning into this,
yeah,
let's try to summarize what's going on here.
Okay.
This incident with the water cannons, it's not just some random event.
Yeah.
It's part of a much bigger power struggle.
Right.
For control of the South China Sea.
Exactly.
And control of that region has huge implications for the whole world.
Yeah, we're talking about a crucial shipping route.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Global trade, a lot of goods and resources pass through those waters.
So any conflict there.
Yeah, any disruption.
Would affect everyone.
It would have ripple effects on economies worldwide.
It's like, wow, okay, this is suddenly a lot closer to home.
Exactly. It matters to all of us.
So as we wrap up here, I have to ask the big question.
Okay.
What happens next?
That's the million-dollar question.
Yeah, I mean, this article doesn't offer any easy answers.
And there aren't any easy answers. This is geopolitics.
Right.
It's messy and complicated.
So what role should countries outside the region play in all of this?
Yeah, that's a big one. Should they get involved? Should they stay out of it?
And what if they choose to do nothing?
Exactly. What are the consequences of inaction?
This incident with the water cannons, it's like a wake-up call.
It is.
We all need to pay attention to what's happening in the South China Sea.
We do.
Because the stakes are incredibly high.
They are. It could have a major impact on the world.
Yeah, well said.
Thanks.
This has been a fascinating discussion. I really appreciate your insights.
Of course, my pleasure.
And to our listener, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the South China Sea.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We'll see you next time.
See you later.